Episode 8. There's no such thing as being left behind. Niece, when I handed in my exam to the TA, it didn't register until after I'd left the building that I'd handed in my last exam ever as a Harvard undergrad. It was January and I had to wait until May to get my diploma and graduate with other students and my parents in attendance. A brisk cold wind hit my face as I exited the Science Center. There was no one I wanted to call, no restaurant I wanted to go to, no drinks I wanted to buy. I walked home alone, turned on the television, and took a nap. My bed was the most comforting place in my life at the moment, and I drifted into a deep sleep with the hope that I'd done enough on the exam to get my diploma. I finished my bachelor's 3 years after everyone I started with. Everyone I knew was off working, traveling, finishing up grad school, and I was just finishing my bachelor's. I wanted to work, travel, and get my master's. I tried not to think about how many years all that would take. I had to get my health on the right track first. I wasn't taking my medication the way I was supposed to. I couldn't regulate my sleep and my appetite, and my cravings were out of control. Getting my bachelor's was just the beginning, and it took 7 years for me to get to the starting line. I slept for a long time that day. I didn't wake up until about 3 in the morning, and then I wanted to celebrate. Since I lived off campus, I was walking distance from a 24-hour convenience store. I pulled on some pants, a sweater, boots, and a coat, and began walking down the block. In typical Massachusetts fashion, it had suddenly begun to snow in the middle of the night. There was no one on the sidewalk. Occasionally a car would pass by and the headlights would blind my eyes a bit. The automatic doors of the store welcomed me in. Bud Light, barbecue and sour cream and onion potato chips, Snickers and Hershey bars, Coke, water, honey buns, and donut holes equaled the celebration to me. I carried all of my treats back home as I tried to figure out what I would watch on television. I couldn't afford any premium channels, so I was at the mercy of basic television before TV channels were digital. I ultimately decided to listen to music. I put on my favorite album, Prince's Purple Rain, on repeat, and opened a beer and a bag of barbecue potato chips. I thought back on the 7 years that had taken me to get to the moment I was in. It almost didn't seem worth it. Wasn't I supposed to have a $100,000 a year job lined up with a fabulous apartment in Copley Square? Where were all the things I hoped for when I imagined graduating from Harvard? Would I ever get anywhere near to having those things? And if so, how would I do it? I blamed everything on having bipolar disorder. If I didn't get sick, I would have the job, the money, the home. It would have been easy. Well, maybe not easy, but easier. To me, having bipolar disorder had ruined my life. Even with my health straightened out, which I knew would take years, it would take even more years to get the job I wanted and the home I wanted, and to fulfill any other dreams or hopes I had for myself before I was diagnosed. But I had nothing but time. They say tomorrow's not promised to you, but you should still think about what happens if tomorrow comes. The doctors told my mother that I would never finish college. As I finished off my first beer and opened the second, I smiled a bit as I realized I'd proven the girl-interrupted hospital doctors wrong. They were so sure, so certain I couldn't make it on my own. I have to admit their doubt was a great motivator. Praise sometimes makes you lazy, but it's important to remember to stay on track. Don't lose sight of your goals, even when you're going through difficult times, or most especially when you're going through difficult times. Time has a way of changing things. No one is behind. We're all just in different parts of the race. Until next time, this is your Aunt Sia saying, stay strong, stay healthy, and know that you are loved.
We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am black bipolar female. I am not my hair, I am not my skin. I am a vessel of love and soul within. I am black bipolar female. I am bipolar female. Let me tell you where I've been, who I am, what I do, why I stand, how I live, what I think, what I love, what I am. Black bipolar female. Yes, ma'am. Any questions you could ask, what I don't know I will pass. I will help you understand all the ups, all the downs, all the smiles, all the frowns, all the whys, all the hows. Walk the journey with me, the road is full of wows. We can learn together, we can grow forever. We can learn together, we can grow forever.